Right.
Well, actually, once you're sick, you can only just try, but nothing will happen to, is what I know of.
Morning,
You
guys.
can't get sick.
Yeah, I got a little video from, that I had them put together from House Call Pro. So you guys can kind of, because there's some things that have been happening that, Renars has been probably the biggest, had the biggest issues with some of the things in House Call Pro. But I want to make sure you guys understand the difference between putting an estimate in. It's not like Service Titan. You can go into the job, you can create an estimate from while you're in the job, and then as many as you want, good, better, best, and then you can sell which one you want and convert it over to a job. It doesn't work the same way, okay? So you gotta basically be not in the job, and then you create an estimate, put the customer name in, and you can do the good, better, best and all that in there. But I wanted to kind of show you guys this really quick. It's only about a 5-minute video, but hopefully it'll help everybody understand a little bit better just to make sure. Okay, hold on here.
Detective Moretti?
Yeah. And why is this not giving me volume?
Put it to MacBook. Is the TV volume on?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't do anything on that. I'm not getting audio, great. And let's just see how this works. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to walk you through it, guys, on the bottom. So, if you saw on the bottom here, let me just kind of back up one more time. So, when you're going into your dashboard, you can see there's new estimates and new jobs. So you click on the new estimate, and then when you go into the new estimate, you can either type in the customer's name, whatever it is. Just type in the name, you find the customer who you're talking about, you click on it, you choose which address, because they can have several addresses in there. And basically, once you do the estimate, that's gonna be option 1 automatically. And then you would just add, you basically, once you do the estimate, you schedule the estimate.
Do you have to schedule the estimate though? If
You
it's
put the
not
date and
gonna-
time in there just so you know when you did that estimate. That's what that's
Okay.
for. It's really just so you know when the estimate was. It's not really scheduled as far as, you can see it still says unscheduled on there. But she's putting it in there just so we know what's going on. She goes in, now she can do the estimate, type in, you know, the information on the estimate. And you see where it says copy to job on top? That's basically, once you go through and you get yourself on my way, start, all that good stuff. But the estimate, when you copy the estimate to the job, that's when it becomes a job. That's when the estimate becomes a job. So you actually have to copy it to a job. She's typing in whatever she's gonna do, I guess, services for. So she's got a tune-up and a capacitor in there. Okay, so she's still in an estimate. You can put in your whatever private notes you want to do, whatever photos, all that stuff is the same. I haven't seen any notes here, of course, in private notes, we know that. If you have any job tags, you could do that as well. Okay, so now that's approving the estimate, having the customer sign it. When they're done signing, hit done sign. Okay, so now you see it's been approved. there's two different ways that it gets approved. Either you guys can approve it, or the customer approves it. Okay. So, then you copy to the job. And now you have to schedule the job. So that's the thing that, some people, I guess in particular Renars, I've seen a lot of Renars, I had like 14 of them. He kept on doing, instead of doing estimates, he kept on basically doing jobs. So instead of, every estimate was a job, you know, and you can't, it screws everything up. We had to delete all kinds of stuff. Okay?
I was with that for like the first day or two.
Yeah. So basically, once it's a job, then you have the job and you can go through the rest of the process. I don't think anybody's had a problem with that in the invoicing and sending that out. But just make sure that the estimates are done outside of the job in the beginning dashboard page. Create a new estimate, and then you can change it, good, better, best, whatever the case is. And you can do all of that from there. You just don't want to do the estimates in the job like you used to do with service type. And that's the biggest change there. Or not change, but between the two programs, the difference. So, unfortunately I don't have audio, but include payment notes, all that good stuff. She's just basically typing in here like a check number or whatever. Okay. So, yeah, so it's pretty simple going through the payment process. And again, guys, try to use the credit card reader, because that saves us money. So we want to try to save us money on that. Okay. So that's the biggest thing with that. I do have a couple of other things. Let me grab something. Be right back.
Looking at Jim Fisher, something's backwards, or what? Something's backwards?
Why would happen?
Well, that's what I'm going to. Something's
I
backwards.
was in that one faucet. That was weird.
Which one?
There's a faucet, their pipes are backwards. So their left pipe, for whatever reason, is cold, and their right pipe is hot. And I saw that they
No, we're crossed.
crossed
You
it
didn't
for
cross
the
it?
faucet, but I don't cross them because I'm like, then I test it. It's just cross it. Yeah, that's all we gotta do.
Okay. So
Tell them that their pipes are backwards. That's how you do.
So regarding uniforms, okay, I talked to the uniform company yesterday. Actually, I talked to him Friday too. He came in on Monday, so it wasn't yesterday, it was Monday. And basically what they're doing, whenever they turn in some of the shirts, you guys are saying, oh, they keep turning back these shirts with all this stains and stuff on it. Well, they're not doing that anymore, but the reason that they were doing it is for inventory purposes only. They would have a cross out in the tag, which means they've already put an order in to replace that shirt. So even though they're putting the old shirts back there, that's only for them to be able to inventory the amount of shirts you guys have. So same thing with pants. If you guys have a tag on them and you can look where your little name thing is from Centos. If they have a black marker crossed out, that means they've already been ordered. They're only having them here for inventory purposes. So obviously I don't want you wearing those uniforms. But I've told them since on Monday, I say going forward, just don't, once you have ordered a new set, or whatever it is, a new shirt and a pair of pants, just get rid of those. I don't want them. I don't want them in the shop because that's just gonna have somebody, they're gonna put them on or try to put them on. So they're gonna do that. Purchase orders. So some of you guys are not putting your purchase orders in the new system. And it just goes in private notes. It's not hard. Rather than having to go into, like before, purchase order, you're just gonna type in Ferguson, however much, Johnstone, however much, in the private notes. Some of you guys are doing really well with it. Some of you guys aren't putting them in at all. So, it makes it difficult when I'm doing payroll. It's taking me a lot longer to figure out, okay, where's the parts for this? Which invoice goes with what? And again, make sure, I prefer, not only do I want you to have the purchase order number, the job number on the invoice, just put the customer name, because that's making it easier for me if I see the customer name too. Just write it on there. Bengard, whatever it is, so that I can match it up that way, because, and some of you aren't even turning them in. I see no invoices, 0. You got jobs, but there's no invoice. Well, how is that possible? I can see you did work and you bought parts, You know, if it's a customer purchase, I mean, a customer bought the parts or whatever, something like that, then just make sure you put that on your sheet, your commission sheet when you're sending it in, you know, installed customer parts, then I know what it is. But other than that, I expect, you know, if you're putting in something, some type of unit or some kind of system or whatever, a water heater, I expect to see parts and an invoice every single time. So turn them in with your paid stuff each week, please. So some of the job numbers are wrong on the purchase orders, which that's why I want the name on there, because it could be one number off or whatever, and I put that number in there and I'm looking, okay, I don't even see this job. So then I gotta try to figure out which job it is, and I'm looking at the materials, and I gotta go through all your jobs throughout the week and try to figure it out. It's just taking way too long. So that's why I wanna make sure that the names are on there as well. Because this system is obviously a lot different, it's not as easy for me to look things up. Since you're not pulling a purchase order, technically, you're just putting the information in. If you put it in, it's gonna make it easy for me, but putting the name on there also helps. Okay, so helpers on the jobs. I've said this a few times, but like, okay, so Nick, I don't mind Nick helping when there's something to do. You have a job scheduled, you gotta go do a dig, you gotta go do some work, a water heater. I don't want him just driving around. I mean, I'm paying for that, and I get shit out of it. Zero. Zero, zero, zero. If something happens and you sell something, and you need Nick, I can either have him go out there, you can pick him up, whatever, that type of thing, I'm okay with it. I just don't want it assumed like, oh, I'm just gonna have a helper with me today, and the shop's gonna pay for it all day, and, well, by the way, we didn't make any money today, so I guess the shop just paid extra money out today. That's what's happening. You can't afford to do that, okay? Especially when Tina's in here cleaning the bathrooms, okay? So we have another girl in the office, her name is Lisa, started yesterday. She's basically, I'm not saying taking Dennis's place, but she's the third person that's gonna be also making outbound calls. She's got a lot of outbound call sales experience, and answering phones, so she's gonna be doing that as well on Saturdays. So she'll be here in the office on Saturdays going. It might start this week or next week, depends on how comfortable she is in training this week, but she will be working the Saturdays, Tuesday through Saturdays. And okay, so then I'm just gonna reiterate the process for what Alex's training was for the evaporative coils and so on and so on. So William and I were gonna go out today to sell one, but then it got postponed again for this afternoon. But we found out this morning that it's under warranty. It's a good minute and it's under warranty. It was 2010, but she bought the extended warranty on it. It's all registered. So she's
check with Goodman, they do not honor their warranties for crap.
They are. Just talked to him already.
Cool. I'm just saying, I've done a lot of compressors where they say yeah, and we drop it off and they pull it back.
Okay. Well,
So just keep on.
he sent me the paper to it and said everything is covered, including labor.
Yeah,
So
just
and-
keep
and-
track of
So
it.
I
who's
will.
gonna do the labor? Do they pay you guys?
They
to
pay
do
us for the labor.
Wow, okay.
They pay you a certain prorated
There's
amount.
money in
Yeah.
HVAC.
Yeah, he said whatever our hourly rate is times
No,
12 hours.
they don't
Hours
pay much
you
at
bill
all.
them. You
They-
can't.
they-
you
I think
can't
insurance is
charge
on it,
them?
they already have like a set
American-
price.
They have like
Oh,
they,
it's
they have
flat
like a
rate?
set price. It's
Oh,
it's
they'll-
flat rate.
they'll
Like
reimburse you.
we'll pay
Yeah.
the company $120 for you to do 4 hours worth of work, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's on their terms.
If-
That's bullshit.
Well,
Assuming they do
You
it
know what,
all.
we're getting something out of it, so it's better than nothing,
Better
that's
than
all I gotta
nothing.
say.
Sure.
I'd
It's
rather
money.
get something than nothing. But, so anyway, we're still gonna go through the process today, we're going there at 2 o'clock, and we're gonna go through the process of checking the compressor and all of that while we're there with her, even though it's under warranty, because if something's out, something's out. I mean, that's the way it is. We're doing the process based on what Gary Pacific wanted, which has to do with, you know, this whole process, so if we go through the process and we should see the compressor's bad as well, hey, you know, that's what it is. That's just, I mean, that's gonna give us the work, but it's gonna get us used to the process of going through testing it, seeing it.
If the compressor's bad, do you sell them a new system, or is that warranty too?
No, if the compressor's under warranty, it's part of the same system it was installed, it's gonna be under warranty.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I kinda doubt if the compressor's gonna be bad, but, you know, the good thing for us in that case, I would not probably, if the compressor's running and working, even if it's yellow, I'm probably not gonna change the compressor out,
It's warranty.
because there's no sense in us just changing it out, but, because the warranty's gonna be over pretty soon, right? I'm not sure how long her extended warranty went, but as far as I understand that it is still under warranty, he's sending me the paper, so I'll see it when I see it. But if we change out the evaporative coil because it's leaking, they're gonna replace it, pay us a little bit of money for it, and then, you know, maybe in a year from now, we go back out and check it again, and guess what, now the compressor's out, no longer in warranty. Well, the coil's good, but the compressor's bad. So, you know, that's why we go back as often as we do to check all of these things, so. Okay, so I guess that's all I have on that, but, anybody have any, you know, Kevin will be back tomorrow. I want to start making this, and this is what, per Kevin, before he left on, last week, he told me what he wants to have happen going on with uniforms, and that's why I'm getting on the uniform people. When you guys come in, we want you guys coming in, ready, looking like you're ready to work, tucked in, belts, everything looking good, and not coming in t-shirts and jackets and all that good stuff. So come in, looking good, every morning, you know, shirts buttoned and tucked and all that good stuff. So starting the rest of, you know, after today going forward, that's how I'd like to have it. I'm expecting and hoping that you look that way when you go out in the field and you're not looking like when you come in here, but it's kind of what we inspect what we expect, okay? So the only way to inspect what we expect is to have you guys come in the way that you're gonna look when you go out in the field. We know how it's gonna look, at least we have an expectation and we're following up with it, okay? Cool? All right, that's it. Okay, thanks guys.